Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be cutting some boars. We always cut our own pigs. Now we're going to go through how we do ours. Some people do them different. Some people have their own method about the way they do it. There are several different ways you can cut these pigs. I do want to stress keeping everything clean is very, very important on preventing infection from these animals. We like to cut the pigs at 8 days. That is the best time frame, honestly, to cut pigs because the healing process is so much faster. I do advise you can do it up to 8 weeks. I mean, you could do it past that, but it is a longer recovery and it is a little harder on them. So I do advise 8 days is really an awesome time to do it. And we're a little late today because we've been so busy here on the homestead, but we're going to get at this. One thing that you're going to need, and I do recommend, is a cut-proof glove. You're using a very sharp blade, and all it takes is one little nick or kick from the pig and you can cut yourself. So I do recommend the hand that you're holding the testicles with, one cut-proof glove. You don't need it on the one that you have your knife in. Okay, so the number one important thing that you must have when you're cutting hogs, I don't care what anybody says, is keeping everything sanitized. So number one thing that you must have is you can have these things called alcohol swabs. They look like this. You can buy them at Walgreens or your local pharmacy. They're just little pads, These work good, and we've used them for many years, actually. Today, I'm going to use those, but I'm also going to dip it in this. 91% alcohol, and it has antimicrobial in it. So I'm going to dip this on the pad, too. So you got to have some sort of alcohol, no matter what. The next thing you have to do this is how it goes in order too. You clean them, you wash them with alcohol. The next thing is iodine spray. Guys, you got to have this. And when you have surgery at a hospital, you get cut open, they use iodine. It's an antiseptic, it's disinfection. This is a must, okay guys? So, and get one with the squirt bottle on top so you can spray them down. We're gonna show you how we do it. That's the next thing you gotta have. This time, I'm actually thinking about putting just a tiny bit of Neosporin on there with a Q-tip. I have never done that before. I think I'm going to try that this time. I never really had any problems, but I think it might promote healing and pain relief. So we're going to try that today and see how it works. And we use Blue Coat. When we're done, we spray them off with Blue Coat. This is what we'll finish it with. Here's another thing I want to talk about is the wound channel. You don't want a big old gash. The bigger the gash that you have, the more chance of infection. So keep that in mind. You want to slow and steady, light strokes. Some people just go in there and whip it and just do what they do. Fine, you can do that if you want to. But I'm trying to prevent the animal from having as much opportunity, for that infection to come in. We don't want that. So let's make it easy on them as possible and make it comfortable for them as much as we can. So you got to have rubber gloves, keep everything clean. And here's another thing that we do to try to keep things clean. I do not recommend cutting animals in the pen your sow is in. If you can bring them in a kennel like we do, we got them in the kennel right here. I do recommend bringing them in a cleaner environment where there's less bacteria. I mean, I have known many people that have had infections from cutting pigs, so you got to watch it. And just try your best to make everything clean as possible, and you'll have less problems. So guys, we lay a towel down, we keep things clean as possible. We actually just do it in our living room. It's super easy, super simple, and they're out of here in no time. Another thing, the last but not least, the most important item you have to have is a scalpel. We only have 4 pigs to do today, thank God. She had mostly girls in this litter. So there's different kinds of scalpels you can get. This one's curved on the end. The only reason why I have this one is because that's what my feed store, they ran out of the other kind, which is a straight blade. Both work, so no problem. Just watch what you're doing. So you got to have a good clean scalpel. And if you're going to do a lot of pigs, make sure you get several of these. I mean, this will last for 3. Some people want to switch them out. You don't have to switch them out every single pig. This will last for the whole 4 pigs. So every time I'm done cutting them, I wipe the blade with alcohol. So we're keeping things clean. So clean is the best number one thing you got to think about when you're doing this, just think about doing surgery here. You want to make sure everything is good, clean, and you won't have as many problems. Now there's two ways you can cut them. You can pull the testicle out as we make the cut. You can cut right behind the ball and that tube will slip back in. The only problem about doing it that way is it will bleed more. There's another way that you can do it, is just grab the testicle and pull. Now, if you do it that way, I do suggest that you put your pressure on their abdomen to prevent any kind of umbilical problems, umbilical hernias, because you're pulling on their insides, you know, and it works great. But I can tell you this, cutting right behind the testicle is less painful on the animal, and it seems to me that they don't even scream as much. But the only downfall of that is a little bit more bloody. So you just got to take that in consideration. So here we go, guys. All right, guys, you need a good flashlight. Number one thing we're going to start with is alcohol. You want to keep this baby clean. You can use your swab, or you can use the alcohol or a cotton ball with alcohol. See, he's real calm. And see how she's holding him between her legs? That's how you want him to do it. Some people do them in the air, but you don't have to. And if this looks real dirty, you replace it. Grab another one. We're going to dip it in some alcohol here. Get them nice and clean. Go heavy if you have to. There we go. Get your cut-proof glove on. The next step is iodine. Spray with iodine. Get your blade out. Now we're going to squeeze the testicles just like that. Make sure that you have both testicles. Just like that. And you want to make a small incision right where it is. See that? Just like that. Make a small cut and try to pop it out just like that. We're going to pull this one, so you want to hold your hand in the abdomen right there. Press down on the abdomen. You can pull.
You need to make sure you have a really good grip on the legs because they're very strong and they kick very hard, fast. So always make sure you're holding the back legs especially tight.
And there are two sections of skin you need to go through there. If you don't get it enough, you got to hit it again. The smaller the incision, better. See, I popped it out. And we're going to put a down pressure on the abdomen and pull. Just like that, guys. See how easy that was? Now, take your Neosporin and a Q-tip and just apply. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it this time. It might help a little with pain. I've never used it before, so I thought, well, I'm going to give it a try. Then, all you got to do now, guys, is spray him with Blue Coat. Blue Coat, just like that. Always use Blue Coat. And let him dry for a second. He's done. That simple, guys. Now, see, you can, when you're grabbing this testicle, if you decide you don't want to pull, which I've done it many times, I'm not going to do it today, but because of my blade. But you can cut the testicle right there, and this tube will go back in. All right, a little hot. We're doing this next to the wood stove, so. All right, so you see how easy it is. It's not that bad. Anybody can do it. You can do it right here in your living room. I do suggest bringing it into like a garage, a shop, in your living room. Just stay away from dirt. I was going to do the cutting method, but I kind of showed you what it's like due to not having the right blade. I just kind of, and how squirmy they were today, I just kind of just decided to pull. So, you know, pulling is just fine. Cutting is just fine. But there is more of a chance of injuring yourself or them and more blood. So everything was smooth and they seemed like didn't hurt them at all. That is the first time I use Neosporin, and it does give pain relief. So I'm gonna give them back to their mother right now. She's gonna be probably wondering where her babies are. So we're gonna get these little baby boys back in with mom. And thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, hit like button. It helps us small farmers. Really does. We appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Love you guys.